Hey guys, what's going on? This is Ash here coming at you today in Clash Royale. I am so excited about today's video because I have my man Anaban back on the channel after a long time, and guess where he is right now in the world here today on the last day of the season? Well, I'll show you. My man Anaban is number 1. Not too bad, right? 7,686 trophies. Unfortunately, he's not using the 2.9 motorcycle because that would be pretty cool if he was. He's using the classic Anaban deck. If you guys don't know it, the reason I wanted to share today's video on today, the final day of Season 4 in Clash Royale, was because, not just because he's number 1 in the world, but rather because I think this deck will be even better next season, and we'll talk about why in today's video. We're going to watch some replays that got Anaban to number 1 in the world, and then I'm going to go into the arena and play this deck myself, and I can't wait, because I think, I mean, maybe I've tricked myself, right? I kind of do this every video, but I really think this time that I was able to learn a lot from watching Anaban play this deck, and I just can't wait to share it with you guys. And by the way, Anaban does have a YouTube channel now, so if you want to see more of this Balloon Freeze PEKKA, Executioner, Ice Wiz, NATO, Valkyrie, Zap deck, go ahead and subscribe to him. That link will be in the show notes below. So check it out, guys. Exy NATO, Valk NATO, Ice Wiz NATO, and then PEKKA Balloon Freeze Zap. Super, super strong. This deck does not really have any bad matchups inside this meta. It really doesn't. Think about what deck could you face using this Anaban deck and be like, I'm screwed. I can't really even think of one, right? Everything. It does well against pretty much everything. And the only change that I will advise next meta with it to you guys is maybe subbing out the Valkyrie for like Bar Barrel or for an Ice Golem, Witch is going to be dead, right? And that's one of the reasons that the Valkyrie is in there. You can also sub even for like a Baby Dragon if you want to. Despite the nerf, I still think you can have that extra air splash damage. But really, this deck has it covered. And a lot of it, again, comes down to the Executioner and the NATO and the Ice Wiz and the NATO. And then the defensive freezes, the PEKKA. As strong as ever, I think, next season when there will be no more Witch inside the arena. Anyway, let's go ahead and start with the replays here. And I want to start, oh man. Hey boss, I love you, man. I love you. Guys, check out Boss. He's a great player, great guy. Has a Twitter account, he has a Twitch account, and he has a YouTube channel. All will be linked below. I'm giving him so much love because this is not a very flattering replay to share with you guys, but it just shows the power, and I can't help who Anaban faced to get to number 1 in the world. And he starts out with a balloon here, and you might be asking yourself, let me just pause really quickly here. Why start out with a balloon? Oh, he must know what deck that Boss is playing. That's why he started out with a balloon. Not just that, actually. He started out with a balloon in a few of these matches that I've seen. He does know what deck that Boss is playing. There's no doubt about that. He's playing the number 1 most annoying E-Golem Sparky deck in the game right now. But he starts out with balloon because he's also started out with Freeze in his hand. And even if he had Witch or E-Wiz to counter the balloon, Anaban likes tower trading with this deck, man. He's not afraid to freeze. Starting out with a Balloon Freeze as his first play of the game. And a lot of times he takes the tower for 9 elixir, not too bad. Even sometimes he's able to defend in the opposite lane, sometimes he's not. So he does take the tower there. Just so happened that Boss actually had a really crappy starting hand without Witch, without E-Wiz. But even if he had him in hand, the freeze would have still probably taken the tower there. So anyway, here we go. Defense Valkyrie and the Executioner against that E-Golem. E-Golem still gets a ton of damage to that right side of the tower. But check this out, guys, here. Only 1 minute into this match. And by the way, in case you missed it, no more draws anymore, even on ladder. Draws are no longer a thing. Look at that Executioner. Oh, my word. Executioner just decimates that Witch there. Now it's the right tower is going to be down. And Boss says, hey, you know what? GG's, peace out, I'm done with you, Anaban. I'm done with your deck, I'm done with this match. He gives up, and there it is. So what a way to start the video, huh? And I gotta tell you guys, this deck is just, it's nasty. You can call it toxic, and maybe I'm not gonna argue with you if you think it's a toxic deck. With the freeze in there, the Balloon Freeze, you know, specifically, people aren't a big fan of it. The Executioner with his buff next season, with the extra range, does have a radius decrease, but most pros are saying this is a buff. Boss, I think, was one of those pros tweeting out that it's a buff. Anyway, next season is going to be so sick. Let's watch this one here. I want to watch against the... Well, this one was actually a really good match here. So let's study this replay. I learned a lot from this one. Anaban, again, at the bottom of your screen, excuse me, this time, and going against this Balloon Executioner cycle. Now, if you missed the video that I put out a couple days ago with Surgical Goblin, I think it's called, like, the Minor God or some Minor Cycle God. Dude, it's called, I think the title is Speechless. He had some sick plays using this Minor Balloon Cycle deck, Exinado, at the top of your screen. Just incredible gameplay by Surgical Goblin, known for his like fast Minor Cycle decks. 2.9 Minor Balloon Cycle. Really, really good episode. I was really a big fan of that one, so feel free. I'll link it in the watch next section of my my description below if you guys want to check it out later. But again, Anaban goes in with that naked balloon. It's going to give the opponent the King Tower activation here. He does catch that Minor on the opposite side with the Valkyrie. But hey, Anaban will take it. Again, we're seeing him go in with those naked balloons early on and just seeing what the opponent is going to give him, you know? In this situation, it resulted in the activated King Tower for the opponent. Quick Zap comes down there, forcing on an Ice Spirit as well. Zap cycled onto our tower. We still get that Valkyrie onto the opponent's right tower, and the opponent not too happy about it. What? Are you kidding me? So here we go again. This time we use a P.E.K.K.A. against that Minor there. Not one to take, even though we have a pretty heavy deck over 4 elixir cost, I think 4.1. Not one to take too much chip damage is Anaban. He pretty much defends everything here. So here we go with that NATO Executioner again. Beautiful. Takes down the opponent's Executioner. And now we have a P.E.K.K.A. at about, what, quarter health or so? Marching her way onto the other side of the arena, forcing out a Minor out of the opponent, forcing out a Zap out of the opponent. Look at the elixir lead we have, and very decisive are Anaban's plays with his balloons. He attacks when he knows the opponent is low on elixir. Granted, this time it doesn't really work out. He still gets the death damage there, also comboed with the Zap. So we take that tower down to 20, 34 here, going into double elixir time. But again, decisive with that balloon. And here comes a balloon of the opponents with the Ice Spirit. We have the E-Wiz in hand. And check this out, Minor comes in. We're going to go ahead and use that defensive freeze, and we're able to cycle back to a tornado. We NATO that King Tower, that balloon, excuse me, to activate our King Tower. Pro plays for days here by Anaban. We go with the Executioner here on defense to intercept that Valkyrie in the left lane, and here comes another relentless balloon attack from the opponent along with that Minor. Activated King Tower is definitely helping us out here. Meanwhile, that Executioner is just going to go ahead and charge to his death. Check this out here, guys. Look at this free. Okay, he had freeze selected. It's not this play. It's in a few plays from now. This one's definitely going to go into sudden death overtime, guys. It's going to be a sick freeze attempt that we'll watch together. Doesn't really work out, but it's sick. All right, so here we go, guys. It's a E-Wiz down. We have a NATO in hand again. So good defense there again. We have the Executioner. Here it is. Executioner, Skeletons, and Ice Spirit down for the opponent, but we freeze there. But the Executioner just too slow. Zap comes down from the opponent, though. So they still had to use 4 elixir, basically, with the Skeletons and the Zap and the Ice Spirit, and then they catch us without Tornado, but we're still able to defend in the opposite lane. A very sneaky freeze on the solo Executioner there on the opponent's tower. Did not work out for us, but again, they did end up having to use a lot of elixir, or 4 elixir to defend, matching our freeze. So now the opponent goes for the opposite lane. We've only used still that one, this is the second P.E.K.K.A, I believe, of the match here so far from Anaban. So we go with the Ice Wiz in the center there. The opponent still not able to get a balloon connection to our left tower, and only that one activation has been the only balloon hit for the opponent. Now we go in, Executioner's down, we have freeze selected, just need the elixir. And there it is, freeze is down. It's gonna force a, look at the right lane, meanwhile, guys, forcing an Executioner out of the opponent. We do get a Valkyrie out of the opponent. We do get an Executioner hit on that right tower, taking it all the way down to 1543. Meanwhile, the left tower, 1541. But this is it. This is the balloon that's gonna be difficult to stop here. Or is it the next one? We'll see. So we catch it with Executioner, but we go with the Ice Wiz instead of the NATO, but we did have the NATO in hand. A big push in the left, begging the opponent, now that they don't have Valkyrie in hand, to use their Executioner in the left, and he doesn't. Instead, he uses his cycle cards, uses his Exy in the right lane. So here we go, big right lane attack. Nice defensive NATO there, or offensive NATO, excuse me, by Anaban, and what's in the opponent's hand to stop this? Nothing. Nothing's in their hand, and there it goes. Tower down from Anaban. 1 minute and 4 seconds left in sudden death overtime. Just did a very, very good job defending there, did Anaban. Let's watch this one here against a Mega Knight deck. This guy's playing a Mega Knight, Night Witch, E-Golem deck, which is very interesting. I'm gonna play this one in double time, and then when we get to sudden death, or not sudden death, rather, double elixir time, we will go ahead and speed things up here. So Anaban again, starting out with the balloon again. Now, I had an opportunity to play, when I was playing this deck, I had a couple opportunities to start out with a naked balloon, and I think I chickened out, man. Like, I don't know. It goes against everything people tell us to do with this deck, but Anaban obviously is his favorite move. He does it like every match. Starts out with a naked balloon. But man, it's just like 5 elixir investment. I don't know. I guess the way Anaban sees it is he'll do it if he has freeze. Get some freeze value. Nice King Tower activation there by Anaban with the E-Wiz. Make sure you learn that placement. I guess he looks at it as worst case scenario, they'll activate their King Tower. Best case scenario, I'll take the tower via a well-timed freeze. Anyway, here comes the opponent with an E-Golem push. Gonna be tons of damage. All the way to make, oh jeez, man, that E-Golem's crazy. 972 on that tower. So here we go, Balloon does connect to our left tower, Zap goes down, Anaban making sure he's able to take that tower down, he does so with 40 seconds left in this match. Let's actually go ahead, check out this solo E-Golem in the right here. Anaban's gonna have to use 10 elixir defending this solo E-Golem. NATO, Valkyrie, Ice Wiz. That's 10, right? Yeah. 10 elixir just to stop the E-Golem. It still gets a decent amount of chip damage. Actually, it doesn't get much damage, but it still gets a little bit of damage there. But because he had to use 10 elixir there's no way he can defend against this E-Golem. So he doesn't even bother, right? Well, I guess he does. He plays the Executioner there to mitigate King Tower damage, but he knows he's going to give up that tower there. So we take down the Mega Knight. Now we're working on that E-Golem slowly but surely there. We use the Valkyrie there to keep that Executioner alive, or untouched for a little while at least, by that baby dragon. And then we go ahead and we attack with a balloon. Nothing really to come of it though. Furnace is down. Now a big push for the opponent. We're gonna have to use a defensive freeze here, and there it comes. So a freeze against that Fisherman E-Golem. We had to use a freeze there because that Fisherman would have pulled our P.E.K.K.A away from the E-Golem and the Mega Knight, and we would have definitely lost our tower. So a really heads up freeze. Be cognizant of Fisherman when you're playing a deck like this. Even though the Fisherman will be nerfed, very, very, you just have to be ready. How does the opponent defend this? Spoiler, they do, somehow. Mega Knight, Night Witch. 2 P.E.K.K.As coming down, able to defend very cleanly is the opponent. So just like that, we went from having a big advantage this match with 2 minutes left to being at a pretty sizable disadvantage in this match. So here we go, it's going to be Executioner on defense with the Ice Wiz. Setting up as the Furnace from the opponent, but we march down there with the Valkyrie. So now we have freeze in hand, and look at this. Nothing the opponent can do here. Despite the Night Witch, despite the Baby Dragon, despite the E-Wiz, doesn't work against the freeze, unfortunately. So there you go, that's how you can get those cheap victories at the end there using this deck. All right, let's watch one more replay, and then I want to go over the matches that I played with this deck. I think they'll actually, this time, I think they'll actually really help you guys out. So, Anaban says, Balloon OP. All right, what's the one that I didn't show you guys? I believe it's the Lavaloon. It is, yes. So Isaiah actually plays really well. I mean, you can't ask for much of a worse matchup as a Lavaloon player, right? And again, we'll go double time here. But he does have Lightning. And Lightning just so happens to be able to kill our Executioner and our Ice Wizard. So that's the one thing going for Isaiah. Other than that, you gotta feel for the dude. Like, you know, going against this deck, we are able to take a tower. After that Lava Hound is, and again, I was kind of blabbing to you guys there, but after that Lava Hound was dropped, we just attacked. We went all in that right lane. Valkyrie, Executioner, and P.E.K.K.A, I believe, or Ice Wizard and P.E.K.K.A. And we took that tower down. It ended up being a tower trade. And in case you guys missed it there, Anaban screwed up there, right? He could have defended that, but he missed the pull of the balloon onto the King Tower there on that Lavaloon with the NATO. Had he gotten that pull, he could have kept that tower alive, maybe at around 1,000 to 1,500 HP, and that would have been the difference maker in this entire match. But because he didn't do that, it ended up being a grind as we cross over here in double elixir time. So here we go with the balloon push. And again, Lightning comes down the opponent. So it's going to be like every time the opponent uses their lightning, we want them to almost use their lightning on defense against our balloons, which Isaiah does a lot in this matchup. Because if we can get the lightning out of hand, that means we can go ahead and lean on that Ice Wizard and that Executioner on the defensive end along with that Tornado. And Zapped comes down there, we end up having to freeze. We do connect with the left tower, though, of the opponent as well. So now things are pretty even. A slight damage advantage goes to us, but a Lightning comes down there. And look at all this damage that we have taken so far on our King Tower, down to 1299, guys. So 1299 on our King Tower. And a Lightning again out of hand for the opponent. 30 seconds into sudden death overtime. We go with I'm gonna go in single speed here because too much is going on. I can't catch up. So nice defense there by the opponent. The balloon does get death damage though, I believe. Yes, it does. So 1195 remaining. And here we go. Valkyrie is down. Balloon is down from the opponent. Executioner at the ready. This time I'm able to have the luxury to play that Executioner knowing that there's not enough elixir for Lightning. So nice defense there by Anaban. Now 2 minutes remaining in overtime. Neither of these players able to just kind of break through onto the opponent's towers. Now we go in with this big push here, forcing again a Lightning out of the opponent. This time we do not score the death damage, but we do have that Executioner on the King Tower. So 13 to 1299 is the King Tower HP differential here. So here we go. NATO comes down again. Executioner putting his work in against that Lava Hound. One shot on all those pups. But here, look at this, guys. What do we have for this balloon? Just a freeze. So we freeze trying to avoid the death damage, but we end up, I believe we end up taking it here, and we do. So 8:23 remaining here. Now we're going to go into 1 minute left or so territory of overtime. And remember, draws exist today, but tomorrow they will not. So here we go. It's going to be Executioner, Ice Wiz in the left. Valkyrie's not going to get to the right. We have Freeze in hand. Freeze immediately comes down, and there it goes. Zap comes. Oh, man. I thought he connected there, but he did not. It's tough because Lightning plus any damage will be enough to take down our balloons. And here it comes. Speaking of balloons, a balloon in for the opponent. Nice NATO there, no Lightning in hand, and we're able to defend again. That was a big defense there for Anaban. 30 seconds remaining here in this match. Mega Minion cycled for the opponent, again trying to predict that balloon in the pocket. Here it comes. Valkyrie balloon in the pocket. This time the Valkyrie takes the swipe from that Mega Minion, and we are able to get death damage again. It's down to 145. Ice Wiz for the victory. Freeze will finish it off. It's in hand. It's down. Boom. GG's. 10 seconds remaining in overtime. Now, guys, I'm really eager to show you my own gameplay. So I just played. Okay, truthfully, I was going to do it live. I actually did it live. But I recorded this whole damn video. Had my mic on mute. Why'd I do that? I have no idea. So Ash fail, but I really loved the matches. I would play live again for you guys, but I'm just going to tell you what was going through my head anyway. A lot of you guys prefer that anyway, so here we go. 3, 2, 1, boom. Syncing up with myself here. So here we go. My first opponent was Mustafis Gold. And man, watch, if you guys have the time, watch both of these because they're just, I'm no pro player, but I made some sick plays. A couple of them. I think mostly in the next match. But so I'm not very confident with this deck, so I decided to just play things rather safe and just react to my opponent. I would advise you guys do the same. First time playing a deck, just react to the opponent. No reason to be overly aggressive. Even that first balloon play that Anaban does, if you want to try it out yourself, go ahead and do so. It could be fun. It's just a game at the end of the day. But for me, I don't know. I'd rather just play it safe, I think, early on. So I didn't do the first play balloons, and here the opponent went aggressive with the golem, so I was just able to react easily. And I play this Valkyrie here, ends up being a great decision because I almost killed this baby D with the Executioner, and I get to his tower. But it was a risky play too, because all I needed was a zap or a bar barrel or a log, and you know, and plus archers, and he would have been able to deal with my Executioner and deal my Valkyrie and kill the P.E.K.K.A. and the Executioner. So here we go. I go in with a balloon here. Why not, right? I don't see this as aggressive either. Have my freeze ready, because I should have zapped. I should have zapped here though, I think. Executioner, that's all I needed. I didn't need anything else. So I had the elixir to zap, and I would have been able to get an extra hit with that balloon, So I should have zapped up those Spirit Goblins. Spirit Goblins were able to keep my balloon, or mitigate the damage done by my balloon there. So a minor mistake, but I don't look at it as like a game changer. I still was able to pick up the elixir lead. I zap here instead, so essentially that wasted zap. And the reason I zapped there is because I wanted the opponent to commit to the golem before I dropped the P.E.K.K.A, right? Because they could always juke me opposite lane. With the NATO, I'd still feel pretty confident, the NATO, the Valkyrie, the Ice Wizard and stuff, but I'd rather play it safe than sorry. So here we go, I delay that NATO again, I place it there. He has a Night Witch, a bunch of bats, so I end up just Valkyrieing in the back there, playing it safe again. He goes with the mini P.E.K.K.A. So he's playing mini P.E.K.K.A, archers, baby dragon, a little bit of a different golem variant. So I kind of want to, again, just be aware that he has mini P.E.K.K.A at all times. So I go with the P.E.K.K.A here at the bridge. And I figure worst case scenario, he'll have enough elixir to play a golem that he doesn't want to play, and that's exactly what happened here. But I'll have my Executioner alive and my P.E.K.K.A to do all kinds of damage, right? So check it out, he plays archers there. Meanwhile, the P.E.K.K.A does kill that Night Witch in the back. This is going to be a great zap for me. Take care of those bats, do some damage to the archers. And I wanted my Ice Wizard to finish off those archers. He did a good job of doing so. So things are like really, really going well for me here. And again, I play an E-Wiz. He plays the lightning, but again, I'm able to keep that Executioner alive. The E-Wiz comes down just a hair late for that lightning, and here I know I have the match. I don't think I've used freeze yet this entire match. And I don't think he knew I had it there. I freeze at the last second, GG's. I zap just to make sure, but it doesn't matter. We make contact there, and he wasn't too happy about it. And can you blame him? He got beat by that cheese freeze at the very end of the match. So here we're gonna go into the next match, guys. Next match was a little bit more difficult of a matchup. That matchup, it's as long as you don't get crazy aggressive in the golem matchup, you're looking pretty good, right? I mean, you have all the answers you need. You even have the golem again. I don't think there's really necessarily a bad matchup that I can think of off the top of my head for this deck. So here we go again, guys. Inside the next match against Jody from Italian Clash 2IT Italia. So again here, I'm reluctant to start out by cycling an air card, but I think he cycles skeletons or something. So I just cycle an Ice Wiz. But then I want to be aware. I think I make a mistake here. It doesn't end up costing me, but I make a mistake nonetheless. So I think it comes up right here. So he plays Executioner, and I cycle Executioner. Same lane. Now here, if he has a balloon deck, he could have just hit me in opposite lane, and all I really had, I didn't have my NATO. All I had was freeze. I think it was a bad play to play that Executioner on my part. It didn't, like I said, didn't end up costing me at all. Didn't make any difference in this match. But still, those are the things you have to be aware of. I played my Executioner and my Ice Wiz in the same lane, and I didn't have NATO in hand. So like, what am I, like, if he had, and he played Executioner, so he could have had a balloon deck. Turns out he was playing Executioner with Royal Giant, so that's much easier for me, and it ended up covering up my glaring mistake there. So now I have a P.E.K.K.A and an Ice Wiz. Wait till you see the last, it's not even that pro of a play. Like, I'm talking like it was a pro play, but I make two really nice plays in this match. So I'll point them out, both of them to you when it happens. One was the winning play, and one was like midway through the match. I think it might be my next push. So I know he doesn't have Executioner in hand, or at least I didn't think he did. So I want him to invest in defending my Executioner, then I want to drop a Valkyrie Balloon in the opposite lane. So as soon as he logs, I'm like, okay, I'm going to do this. And it turns out I miscounted, and he was back to Executioner. One card away. Skeletons, then the Exy. But check this out. The tower is locked onto the Valkyrie, so I NATO the Exy away, and the Valkyrie is able to stay alive just long enough for me to get a hit on that tower and the death damage. So I think that I was really proud of that tornado. Normally you would never do that unless the King Tower was activated, or unless the Princess Tower, excuse me, was locked onto the Princess first. So there I delayed with that P.E.K.K.A purposely, so the Executioner would cross the bridge, and then I could just zap up those skeletons, take care of the Executioner first, and then take care of the Royal Giant. So again here I go with the same push, trying to stay aggressive here. He goes with a Royal Giant. So here I could have just NATO'd the Royal Giant away, but instead I go with the point blank range Executioner. I knew he wouldn't take my tower, but I knew it would be pretty low. So now it's one poison range after that log. So we'll see what I do here. I go with a P.E.K.K.A. Bad P.E.K.K.A. right? I don't know why I went with that. I thought that he couldn't cycle to poison or something. He was able to cycle to poison, but I'm able to like use this as momentum here. So I wanted to go with that Valkyrie in the pocket. I want to attack desperately here. And I end up attacking. I use the Ice Whiz to try to finish off the Xe. And then he just goes ahead and he Royal Giants in the pocket. So I just NATO that away to the King Tower. And then I'm going to go with a freeze here. I went with a freeze too early, guys. I should have delayed more on that freeze. I ended up getting a hit on that tower, but only one hit. Had I delayed just one more second for the Ice Spirit freeze to wear off on my NATO, it would have been so much better. So here I'm able to defend pretty easily. Ice Wizard for the skeletons, P.E.K.K.A for the Royal Giant, P.E.K.K.A to distract the Executioner. P.E.K.K.A, make sure I keep her, sorry P.E.K.K.A, as far as I possibly can away from. Now this is where I win. This is where I win. Valkyrie to juke out Xe. Boom, it worked. Valkyrie to juke out the Xe, and then boom, what do you have for this man? He doesn't have anything. That's GG's. Now this time I wait. Very patient on this freeze. I get the Ice Spirit. P.E.K.K.A finishes it off. Log comes down. That's going to be GG's. So there you go. I was happy with the way that ended there again with the Valkyrie. Valkyrie to bait out the Executioner, thinking that I was going to drop the balloon. It didn't end up really working out for me. So guys, that's going to be the video. Hope you enjoyed it. Again, subscribe to Anaban's YouTube channel. It will be in the show notes below, along with his player stats and profile. Thanks to statsroyale.com and his Twitter information. Huge shout out to Bren Chong, my YouTube partner. Check out his information as well. Thank you for watching, and as always, take care, guys.